have been trying my hardest to stay like off of this thing, but there's a lot that happened in the last 2 days, and I don't feel right. So I know everybody pretty much sleep, but it's a lot that has happened in the last 2 days, and I know y'all seen it. Like I wasn't looking for no craziness, but craziness found me. Um, I'm gonna tell y'all what's a little spooky to me is that last year and 2 years ago, around this thank you, in this same week, we talked about all that's going on right now in real life. You hear me? Because it made a year last year. Hey, it made a year last year on the day. So that means that if we go back to October the 6th, 2022, there's a lot of things that are happening today. Right now, it's now October the 7th and October the 6th. We talked about a lot. Did y'all see what's happening overseas? And did y'all see what might be coming on this side? Yes. Excuse me. Y'all see they talking about gas issues? Hey, they hit a oil thing or something. Y'all remember this book right here? This is absolutely nuts. Crazy because I got some stuff marked down here. Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? Thank you. Y'all remember this? Why I can't see nobody over here. Good evening, Sarah. Morning. Sorry, Vonda, Meta, everybody. Y'all remember this? What's this? What's the first word in here that I always point out to y'all? This one right here. You'll see that. And you remember this little thing talks about all the people we went through here. Who remember us going through here and we looked up who the people were today in present day times? Y'all remember? Huh? Y'all remember we went through Moab and we looked at I pulled out the old brown Bible. This was just a couple months ago. It wasn't even that long ago we did this again. Ooh. Y'all remember this Bible? Y'all remember it had all the old maps in the back or either in the front? And we went and looked at where Moab was, where Philistia was, and all of that. Y'all remember? This. I said this is going to be very important. Remember this map? Screenshot this, please. Please screenshot this. I don't remember what day we had that class, but it's very important to the news today. I guarantee you it is. Very, 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 very important to what's going on here now. And so I felt like I would give some great news. Miss T of Yah gifted me some books. And when I tell you, I have not read 60 pages so fast. Like, I didn't want to eat, I didn't want to do nothing. I just wanted to get this information. So, but in light of all the craziness that's going on, who want to learn something amazing? We know a little bit about it, but baby, when I tell you, I said, Dad, what I need you to do is help me understand sometimes why you make me feel real special, because he does that. You know, at a time when I don't be feeling special. You know, he's a great dad. Y'all want to know what I learned? Can you see? What books? What books? Okay. I already showed them all in a class like earlier. I already showed them when I got them. It was like a week ago. I already showed them all. And you know I ain't about to pull out. Girl, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. I love you. Come on now. Thank you. So who remembers this book? I showed this. This is one of the books she sent. I think this was the first one I pulled out the box. Y'all remember? Y'all remember I just showed y'all? Look at this, how you know I done been in it. Because I showed y'all the book without no, what's the name on it, right? Y'all seen it because I was talking about how this was. You see I done been in it? Who want to know what I found in this here book? And T of y'all, if I would have known this is what you sent me, Pumpkin. And I went looking for a paper copy. A paper copy is about $30. And then I went looking at the value of this one. And I said, yep, I know y'all love me for real. And I'm sorry I be being mean. But sometimes it be a lot. There she go. You. Did you read this before you sent it to me, or you just sent it to me? Did you even look in here? Okay. So let's get this started because it's very interesting to me, and I want y'all to see it. I was gonna try to sit on it for 7 days. I can't. I can't even do it. Okay. So because I'm weird, on the front of this book is a statement. Here you go. Right? I got my hair braided. I braided it. But yeah, thank you. Um, who wants to know what this means? Who want to know what this means? Lord, let me know what I need to know. Lord, let me know what I need to know. That's what this statement in Latin means. Yes. Yes, baby. Yes. Baby, listen. And I didn't find that out until after I read the page. I said, I wonder what this means. Ooh, listen. Can I just read a little bit of this to you? Oh, pumpkin. You have no idea. Y'all want a little story time, or who wants a little story time? Say yes. Please say yes. Good job. Because I got a little story time for you. Here we go. Put your listening ears on, please. Here we go. Y'all, mind blowing. It says, My Lord, I dedicate this. I'm going to skip that part because we just need to get to it. It says, While British Commissioner in Syria secured the esteem and confidence of all parties, and I feel assured that and had the policy which you inaugurated with such success in the Lebanon been extended in the matter you propose to the whole of Syria. Can I ask you a question? Are those two people in the news right now? Lebanon, Syria. Yes? Yes? Y'all. Oh my goodness. The dawn of a bright future would ere this have begun to illume its blood-stained plains and mountains. Is it being blood-stained right now? Lebanon and Syria? Is it being blood-stained right now? It is. Y'all, this book is 133 years old. Mind you, 133 years old this book is. This book I'm holding in my hand is 133 years old. Remember that. Okay? 133 years old. Girl, thank you. You don't even know what you did. This is why I ain't been talking to y'all. All right. We're going to skip through these parts and just want to read something to you. It says, I confess that I feel considerable hesitation in placing these sketches of Bible lands and Bible history before one in every way so competent as your lordship to detect their many imperfections. You will perceive that they are fragmentary. I do not attempt a description of all of Palestine or all of Syria. I omit many of the most noted places and some of the most celebrated shrines. I do not because I think their minds of interest and instruction have been exhausted. Far from it. I believe there is still very much to be done for the illustration of the history and language of the Bible by the thoughtful and observant traveler. Right. So we're gonna get past that, and it is a specific part that I need us to get to. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Please say you're ready. Raise your hand if you're ready, because y'all, this right here, I'm trying to get to all of it, but this right here gonna push your head open to the white meat. Now, we knew a little bit of this, but more of it was revealed, and I took notes so that way I could understand, because it was blowing my freaking mind. And there are some things that I talked about that I know God told me, and I couldn't put the pieces all the way together, but this right here. Here we go. Beishan is the land of sacred romance. From the remotest historic period down to our own day, there has ever been something of mystery and of strange wild interests connected with that old kingdom. In the memorable raid of the Arab chiefs of Mesopotamia into eastern and central Palestine, we read that the Rephaim in Ashtaroth Karnam, this is written 130, so it's written weird. It says, we read that the Rephaim in Ashtaroth Karnam bore the first brunt of the onset. The Rephaim, that is, the giants, for such is the meaning of the name of men of stature, beside whom the Jewish spies so long afterwards that they were as grasshoppers. These were the aboriginal inhabitants of Beishan, and probably of the greater part of Canaan. Most of them died out or were exterminated at a very early period, but a remarkable specimen of the race, such as Goliath and Sippa and Lami in First Chronicles, were the terror of the Israelites and the champions of their foes. As late as the time of David, strange to say, traditional memorials of the primeval giants exist even now in almost every section of Palestine, in the form of graves of enormous dimensions. Now, all they playing. Look at this. Now, who did that? I'm just reading out of a freaking book. Are you serious? Whatever. Y'all already know where to go if we get off of here. Because it's because of the names I'm saying right now. You hear me? Anyway, look at this. It says, is y'all ready for this? Is you ready for what you had in your... Is you ready? This is for informational purposes only. TikTok. Allegedly. Whew. Traditionary memorials of these primeval giants exist even now in almost every section of that place, in the form of graves of enormous dimensions, as the grave of Abel near Damascus is 30 feet long. Oh, we use our manners here. Did you hear what it said? So, who remembers when I talked about Westerners and different starting to go into the Middle East in the early 1700s? Remember, I showed y'all a book from 1917 when they was just starting to really go over there, and I told y'all if you look at before they came in like the late 1800s or whatever, 1700s and stuff, it was everything was real this, right? But now it's like this. Remember? So who also remembers that I told y'all they used to go over there and they would visit, and they would come back and they would go into their cigar bars and they would tell them the real story, which is why I told y'all I wanted y'all to go read The Truth About the Christian Religion, that old book from like the 17 or 1800s. Remember, I said download it, it's free. Remember? And it was telling you who the names of who used to be and all of that. Y'all remember this? Now, this is one of those books. Do you hear me? So Abel's grave was 30 feet long. Abel, the son of Adam. And it's there. You can see it. They know exactly where it is. I'm waiting for y'all to catch up now. Come on. Come on in. It says that of Seth is in anti-Lebanon, above about the same size. So Seth was about 30 feet tall too. Abel and Seth, 30 feet tall. They know exactly where they are. This is in the night. This is 133 years ago. 133. Are you listening? Y'all ready for the rest of it? Y'all want the rest? Huh? And that of Noah in Lebanon, which measures no less than 70 yards. 70 yards is 210 feet. So the grave they showed us, if it is, they didn't play with them numbers, because they know where it is, and it's no less than 210 feet tall. Noah. Which made sense because it was all giants that came to visit him when he was born. Remember, we read the story in Jasher. Who remembers? I said, well, all of these people was giants. Remember, we did a whole story about it. Well, it makes sense now. Listen, when I'm telling y'all this book, yep. And think about it. Who remembers me saying it had to be a giant on the boat? And then we went and read the story about Noah's birth, and I said, well, he has a superpower. But remember, I told y'all the normal sized man was not little. The first people, we have shrank. That's a part of our curse. So it makes sense. Why the first women was like, oh yeah, I got that. That's me right there. Don't even worry about it. Neymar, you said it, Kenya, girl. If you don't get out my head, this is why their sons mix. If a human woman of 30 feet or 25 feet tall made it with an angel, well, yeah, something is going to be 70 feet, 150 feet to 450 feet tall. It makes so much sense. My toes is wiggling too, baby. They be look, I got notes and notes and more notes and a whole bunch of notes. I done went down a rabbit hole, baby, that I can't. The baby, listen. I said, So, again, why do you think the raw is where it is? I told y'all. Oh, that ain't it. I ain't done. The bones. Guess what else they said in here? That they've been hiding in the mountains the whole time. As to why, in all of the movies, whenever they showed us an Arab person like a king or someone in the Middle East, they always had these massive, sir, right? And I paid attention to that, like Conan the Barbarian, all the movies. I'm like, why they always make that? The Arabian people huge. Like, why? This is a question I asked as a kid. Question I asked as a kid. I know why now. And 133 years ago, they knew why. Well, when did they start making all those movies about the early 1900s? This book from 1891. They've been in the mountains the whole time, y'all. I'm thinking that there was something there because who wants to know something else? I'm going to just get y'all to the juice because it's a lot of juice in here and I done did a lot of research in these last couple of days that just kind of solidified every single thing. I said, well, there it is, Dad, right there. I've been waiting for the information, and it came to me, last week or so. I said, ooh, I want to go through here. This will be a class we'll do when everybody awake. But, baby, I said, oh, now I'm going to go back here to I gotta be careful with this book. This is it. Give me a second, y'all, because there's so many of these in here. Oh, okay. I think this is it. Hold on. looking for a specific part that was mind-blowing to me. And I know I marked it, but I don't know if I wrote the actual note down. All right, Dad. Okay, I'm in the right place. Sorry, y'all. Talks about the angel of destruction. Give me 1 second. It's a part in here, and I don't want to. I know I wrote it down. So maybe he don't want me. Maybe he don't want me to talk about that just yet, cause I sure can't find it, and it was like crazy. Hold on. Just give me 1 second. Dad. Oh, y'all, this is gonna drive me nuts now. Okay, well, anyway, basically, it was talking about how Mount Hermon, right, is the same mountain that Jesus, when he called Mount Hermon, I'm sorry, y'all. Mount Hermon is the Hermon of the mountain that when Jesus called the demons out of the pigs, out of the man and into the pigs. Do y'all know it was a cliff in Mount Hermon, like that where that happened at? Cause it used to be water and stuff there. That's also where he fed the that's also supposedly where he fed the like two of the multitudes at, right? And I said it was one other thing in here. I gotta find it. But it was one other thing in here, and I said, "Oh my God!" So, it was where he was transfigured. It's where the transfiguration happened. You hear me? So the same mountain that the angels decided that they were going to wife the women or, make them wives of them, and that decision destroyed the earth and the natural order of things. Right, T of y'all. You picking up what I'm saying. It's the same mountain where Jesus went and undid it. I said, I knew it. I knew it. So it wasn't, those places are so much more significant than we know. The same high mountain that the angels stood on and did what they did, God came and undid it there. Tell me that's not amazing. That's where he called all the demons out. That's where he transfigured it. And it was one more thing. That's where he fed the multitudes. They done sold us a different story. They done sold us a different story. It's okay. Because it was so much information in here. I said, oh, baby, I was a reading and Googling fool. You hear me? Y'all remember we looked up the city Ecbatana or Batania? Y'all remember? We looked up Ecbatana or Ecbatania. Y'all remember that? Yeah. Why is that the old name for Beishan? They be talking about these cities is lost. They know exactly where they at. Exactly where Og was at. They kept giving us the Romanized version of the names so we wouldn't know where it was, but it was right there. They changed the name so many times. Listen to this. The city of Argod. So it says, it had been united under Og, and it remained united in possession of half the tribe of Manasseh. Now, this was important because Manasseh was Joseph's son, right? Did y'all know that, right? Manasseh was Jacob's 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 son, right? Y'all know that, right? He was Joseph's son, but Jacob adopted him right before he died. Yeah. Jacob um adopted Ephraim and Manasseh before he died as his sons. Yes. Joseph. And Joseph married Asenath. Well, guess who her son was by Joseph? Manasseh. And then Manasseh had two sons, which were Machir and Jair. One was by Aramean, and the other one was by his wife, right? Isn't this crazy? Absolutely nuts. Okay? So look. This book is crazy. So Jair, which is Manasseh's son, took Argob. Would you like to know where Argob is right now? It's Lajat, Syria. The city of Argob is Lajat, Syria. Okay? Lajat, Syria. Who lived in Argob? Giants. Giants lived in Argob. Yeah. Yeah. It says the conquer of Bashan began under Moses and ended under Jair, Manasseh's sons. It says Joshua tells us that the Geshurites and the Machites or Machites dwell among the Israelites until this day. They took to the mountains of Argob, Lajat, Syria. Is Africa not a mountainous? Like all of Africa, there's mountains everywhere, isn't it? Is it? Or no? wasn't going through the mountains in all the movies. It was always the big guy that was taking them through the mountains and all these scary places, and he'd like put him on his back, or he didn't ride no camel because he was too big, and he would just walk, but he was super strong. He could move all these trees out the way and all this so weird stuff. Or am I tripping? They had the big old swords like the one I got down there. Yeah or no? Right? They always portray them to have super strength. Right? Right. Okay? They've been knowing. So I looked up a place, and I don't want to say it online because I have a feeling they wouldn't let me find it on the internet. So I know I ain't going to be able to say it online, which is crazy. And it's a real place, but if you try to Google it, baby, absolutely nothing comes up, not even a search bar, babe. It'll just keep on running like it's about to do something, but it ain't. Okay. It's so much information. I'm trying to get to the parts. Okay. This is what I was looking for. It's right here. So it says Galantis is actually Golan, an ancient Hebrew city of Ezekiel. Batania or Bantania is the eastern mountain range. Another name of Bashan is Trachonitis, and it's the Greek translation. So when you see Trachonitis in Greek translation, it's actually Argob, meaning strong. Okay? And it says the last time that it was mentioned was in the New Testament. Philip, the son of Herod, ruled at that time, right? So, oh, I did write it down. Thank you, Dad. It says, even though Bashan is not mentioned by name, it was the scene of the most interesting events. It was the, what is this now? It was something. The slopes of it was down the slopes of Bashan, the high tableland that the demons expelled by Jesus chased the swine. Bashan, it was in Bashan that Jesus fed the multitudes, and it's also the mountain of transfiguration, that very Hermon which forms Bashan, which is crazy, and that's also where Paul went after he was after his conversion. I did write it down, actually. Another thing too, remember when we was talking about, is it Boudin balls or whatever you want to call it? Boudin balls? Is that how you say them? From down in Louisiana? Boudin balls? I don't know how do you say it? It has so much to do with over there in that area. It's ridiculous. They changed the name of it, y'all. Is y'all here? Do anybody know what I'm talking about? The rice with the meat balls that now they making like hot Frito pecans or something like that. Hot Frito boudin balls down in Louisiana. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay. They actually, so if the 12 tribes were displaced, right? Y'all feeling me? If the 12 tribes were displaced, right? That means they aren't in their native lands, which is what God said, right? They used to be called the Bedawin. And they're from ancient Syria, in that area. On Mount Hermon is where a lot of them still live. I went and looked it up. I'm like, wait a minute. It's something that they make over there. But they make it with like lamb or sheep or whatever. And then like they don't drink coffee and they don't use any like tobacco products, right? But get this. The women in one of these things, they wear silver horns on their head. And they're like the princesses with the long shawls that we've seen in all the Disney um movies and whatnot. But some of them wear two horns. Interesting. You can't talk to them or nothing. The women. And it says it makes them look like they're larger than normal humans, is what it says in this book. In 133 years ago. Like there's so much information I wanna share, but it's like I gotta be careful because even when I was trying to find certain stuff, it kept kicking, like it wouldn't go to it. But when I tell y'all we have been lied to, which I knew, but I didn't know it was to this magnitude. They already know where Noah's Ark is, everything. But I told y'all that. I remember when they found it when I was little, and then they said they just found it again. Not the truth. Not the truth. They found it a long time ago. Oh, it's so much good information in here. I was like, oh my goodness. Crazy. Talked about the giant cities, how they still there. They look like they was built yesterday. He said, but they don't let folks in them areas. It also talks about the bloodlines of Manasseh. It talks about the bloodlines because Ephraim and Manasseh were giants. Well, they was all giants. I told y'all Jacob's sons was giants, right? Remember, I show y'all that picture all the time. I said, I guarantee you, one of those statues standing next to one of those pharaohs was Joseph. We also talked about Israel. But remember, we talked about who Israel came out of, who his mama was, and who his daddy was. And I said, y'all, those was races of giants. Well, it's proven in here. And I'm only that much through it. You see, I still got all of this. Yep. Exactly what we've been studying 133 years ago, they knew it for a fact. Because the man went over there. He was like in amazement. He said, literally, this book is called Bashan and its Giant Cities. He said they don't even let people, back then it was hard to get in there. And it goes into detail about how they built these cities. And who remembers me talking about all of the basalt, 133 years old, yeah. Yeah, it talks about where people was ran to. Like it's mind blowing. And I'm only on really like I used up almost the whole packet of these things. Talked about the giant doors. Everything. Everything. How big these rooms was. Oh, I know. Yes. 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 Because it puts even more of the pieces together. I'm like, she couldn't have read this before. The giant, Bashan, the giant cities, and its giant cities. They got it on Amazon for $30. Now I don't know if they didn't edit a lot of it or not, but the paperback version is on Amazon. But baby, right here, this book right here. I know that. You know I know that. You might not have known that I know that. It talks about how they Beijing and its giant cities. No, I'm not the all knowing, but I literally teach about all the time. Mm-mm. Okay, so if you missed the title, because I done said it like 6 times already, just go back on the rewatch, y'all. We recording on YouTube. There are pics. There are pics, but girl, it just shows like the columns that we always see like in the Roman, what's the name? Let's see. Here's one. Girl, I gotta be careful. See how little them people is. They said some of the houses, they go through all of the places that Jesus said nothing to ever grow. Chorazin, Bethsaida, and Capernaum. Y'all remember in this, I think it's the sibling oracles, it said that the Antichrist is going to be conceived in one, reared in, born in one, and raised in one, right? You hear me? Y'all hear me? Y'all know these are the only cities that Jesus himself actually cursed. Baby, nothing still grow there to this day. They said the houses is immaculate, baby, like they was just built yesterday, baby, and nothing, no life lives in there. He said that the thistles is giant. Y'all know what that make me think about? What's the fairy tale where the thistles had cut? Is that Sleeping Beauty? Was it fire that came down at Sleeping Beauty or something like that? It was one of them where it was like something going on and everybody had to leave and nothing grew and she was just laid up in there for a long time. Is that Sleeping Beauty? Or is that another one? Which one where it was thorns and thistles all around the castle and all of that? Is that her? Sleeping Beauty. Why the scene they describe is exactly how it looked in Sleeping Beauty. Literally, how they describe how Chorazin, Bethsaida, and these cities are looking 100 years ago now. This man was like, there's nothing growing there, nothing alive. He was like, and you would think this is people would be living here? No, all of the stuff that God said, this city, that, yes, cute baby. I can't eat. I'm trying to tell you, I kept just, I didn't want to eat nothing, but this is a eat and like I needed something, but like I was so mind blown. I said, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Everything that we've been studying, everything. I said, I knew it. The bloodlines, who lived where, who made it with who, the bones and stuff they didn't found, the structures. They said one block in one of these places over there, one block I think was 12 feet long, 18 inches wide. Wait a minute. It was like length was like 12 feet, and then the width was like 18 inches or 24 inches, and then it was so many inches high or whatever, like 12 inches high or something like that, of straight basalt. So that black that they always make the statues out of. Okay, this. This basalt, this was carved straight out of a mountain. But they houses, the whole city is black, y'all. And they said, looking from a far distance, you can't even tell that they houses. You hear me? You can't even tell. Like, the inside of the crib is black. The outside, it just looked like the mountain. So flying over it or whatever, you wouldn't even know that it's whole houses. But they're cut like them big old blocks that we see. It talks about Jerusalem and how them blocks got knocked down the first time. And it wasn't by normal sized people. I understand why the city of Jericho is so important. Like, mind blowing. Mind blowing, y'all. No joke. Could you imagine? Here we go. So when we see this, and they have these figures, this was real. And we talked about it 1,000 times, baby. But listen here. They got the bones. So you know what this makes me think of, right? Remember when I told y'all everybody kept saying that National Geographic picture was not real? Of them digging out those bones? And everybody was like, this picture's been, whatever, CGI, blah, blah, blah. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. That was a real photo. Because if they know where Noah's bones is, and it was over there in that area, and Noah was 210 feet tall, who y'all think, how big y'all think his sons was? If Seth and Abel were 30 feet, and then in the 7th generation, their daughters mated with angels. This is why they was 450 feet tall, and this is why they were master builders. It talks about them building with this black rock with no mortar in between it. The beams hanging over the house, like the floors, and they had apartments, like exactly what I was telling y'all about, like in the Flintstones, how they apartments was built up like that. Not the houses and the apartments. Same thing, but they said they're massive, but you wouldn't even know you was looking at it. You would think it's a mountain black rock. Didn't even think about it. Yep, because it's all like black basalt. And they said them things, they don't even know how they got them. They was like, the door is little, but then when you open it up, it opens up into this big old thing, right? And remember, everybody was like, oh, well, like all the giant doors. Remember when everybody was like, they just made them like that? All the old churches and stuff. Like that picture going around of that man closing that big old door. Yes. Yes. Here go one of the halls. Now tell me that don't look like, right? But you can't even, so all you got to do, now see, this don't even look that big, do it? This don't look that big. Do it. Do that don't look so big, does it? Until you put it in the scope of this. Okay, but we could use this too. Thank you, Dad. We might have to use the ones in Karnak. Again, real quick, basalt, right? trying to get the picture of that man. It was like right by the. Okay. This is how big those columns are, though. And you know, a human man only come up to about right here to these. Y'all know human men only come up to about right here on these, right? Y'all know that, right? I'm trying to find the picture. We have one in here. I just don't know exactly which page it's on. So, with Joseph also... with Joseph also marrying the Egyptian woman, if Joseph was a giant, and he married Asenath, what's that make Asenath? What does that make his son Manasseh? Here we go. This. See that? This is a real picture. That's not a drawing. Do you see the size of a human man to that? We could barely move the base stones, I guarantee you. I didn't know that there was a whole thing about the half tribes of Joseph. Did y'all know about the half tribes, the two half tribes? Now I know why there are two half tribes. Because one of them was an Aramean woman and one of them was an Egyptian woman. So they were not all Israelite. That's why his sons are called the half tribes. So Joseph and Jacob's lineage was in Egypt and was royalty in Egypt. Right. Yeah. And the Arameans, if I'm not mistaken, are who became the Arabs. Or a part of their line. So it goes like, baby, listen. When I tell y'all, I was over here like, wait a minute. Wait. Just wait. No, yeah. Because that makes a lot more sense as to why the fighting. Because it is in the bloodlines. It's there. Right? But to know that Seth and Abel were 30 feet. Right? 30 feet tall. The women were probably no less than 25 feet. Right? So in all reality, it's kind of crazy. But where do the tallest people live? And who are the darkest people on the planet? Yeah, but there's a specific group, the Sudanese. They are the darkest people on the Sudanese. Sudan. They are like the closest version to the original human, y'all. Like our most natural state, like when God created, they are like the most closest to, no matter what this DNA say, when you go by this history stuff and you see where they went, the minute they have the tallest women and the tallest men on the planet. Yep. And they're the darkest too. They're the darkest. Y'all was talking about this last night. Girl, I've been on it. I've been looking. I'm like, okay. Like, It makes so much sense. Everything, like reading and I only got through like the first 40 pages, but they was talking about the cribs, the stone structures, everything. They talk so much about Mount Herman in the first part of this. Mind blowing. Like Mount Herman right now is, well, back then it was still a lush valley. So remember I showed y'all that picture and I was like, we got a picture with all that grass in front of the Egyptian statues, and now it just shows sand. 100 years ago, over 100 years ago, there was a lush garden there. It was not sand there. It was lush garden. It was a like a it was a garden. It was grass and every. See how they painting this? They showing us sand, right? But remember I showed y'all I have another one where it was green in 1917. In 1917 there was grass. I don't know. The Sudanese are struggling and have famine and chaos now. Listen. Can I ask y'all a question? Do y'all feel like y'all in the movie yet? The one I used to talk about all the time before all of this craziness happened? I also didn't even realize in the 2 days that I've been off of here, I finally got back on today. Like, and really was on. Um, it's like 5 things that happened in the last 24 hours. Like, we're on high alert. And the route just kicked into overdrive. Everybody then chose their sides. We studied about all of this, didn't we? Did we? Did y'all see they was talking about a whole bunch of grocery sacks with meat in them? Remember, I'm blocking folks for just saying whatever they want to, so just remember that. They don't even have enough sacks to put all the meat in. Hopefully you understanding what I'm saying. In Florida, the chaos has already erupted and people are arguing and fighting in the stores. Who remembers me telling y'all about the dream about the identification thing and everything? The building was white, where we had to be was white, all of the people had on white, and they was telling people you can do this and you can do that if you do this certain thing. And the people that didn't want it, remember I told them, I was like, don't take it. It's the identification thing. Y'all remember that dream? Have y'all seen what the people that's going down there helping is putting the housing? They're putting them in. Y'all seen? I said, oh, the charging stations. Look at. I said, well, this is what I saw. Did y'all know that we on high alert? America. All gloves is off. I want to play some stuff for y'all. Hopefully they don't be on no stupid stuff. We gonna see. This is for information purposes only. I have a message for President Macron. Today, Israel is defending itself on 7 fronts against the enemies of civilization. We're fighting in Gaza against Hamas. Israel is fighting 7 wars. Things at one time. Y'all heard that? Allegedly. Just what he said. Y'all listening? Seven and 10. 7 and 10. Those savages who murdered, raped, beheaded, and burned our people on October 7th. We're fighting in Lebanon against his... October 7th. The 10th month and the 7th day. Interesting. How many kingdoms and how many kings in Revelations? And burned our people on October 7th. We're fighting in Lebanon against Hezbollah, the most heavily armed terror organization in the world, which was planning an even greater massacre than October 7th on our northern border, and that has rocketed Israeli towns and cities for nearly a year. We're fighting against the Houthis in Yemen and the Shiite militias in Iraq and Syria that together have launched hundreds of drones and missile attacks against Israel. We're fighting against terrorists in Judea and Samaria who are trying to murder civilians in the heart of our cities. That's called the world. That's called the world. This account is called the world. I need y'all to find that video because I don't want them to be on the funny stuff. Today is 10/7. Right. And he put that up, I guess, 21 hours ago. Okay. That account is called the world on TikTok. I need y'all to watch that video.
And radio history. Now it's September the 11th. The attack is now on the United States to bring down the United States as the ruling state in the world. But in the process of bringing it down, the United States has some very important work to do for Israel. I can identify tonight 2 very important things that the United States has to do for Israel. There are many more, but there's no need to do more than simply 2. In order for Israel to succeed the United States as a ruling state in the world, United States as a ruling state in the world, simply 2. In order for Israel to succeed the United States as a ruling state in the world, not only must the U.S. economy collapse and the U.S. dollar collapse, and when the US dollar collapses, it brings down the whole world of paper money with it. And if you don't believe me, just wait. Just wait. Not only must the United States collapse its economy and its money, but in addition, Israel has to wage a big war, which even non-Muslim political analysts are now anticipating. A big war. Even Jews now within Israel, I'm getting emails.
That is African herbsman. Where's the Antichrist going to be living? Where is he living right now? It's probably in Jerusalem somewhere. I'll be right back. I just want y'all to just meditate on that, because this little book that I got that I just put back up here, this Algabashan got a whole bunch of stuff about why they over there in that era that they in. It's a whole old beef, honey. Old beef, but it is Bible prophecy, which is pretty darn spooky. Mm-hmm. I said, uh-oh. Well, Dad, give me 1 second, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I saw all that stuff going on. I was like, dang, it's like everything in our class. We talked about having the craters that opening up, and just I told y'all about the dreams I had about the walls of water. I told y'all all of these dreams that I had, and to look on the news, it is pretty spooky to see all of them coming to pass. I'm not gonna lie to you. With the war, with the raw, excuse me, with the sides clicking up. What do you mean? What does that even mean? Listen. Are you speaking for yourself? Cause you can't tell me. You can't tell me what I'm ready for. Cause you don't. You don't know what God. No, speak for yourself now. Don't put we in front of it. Say I. Cause you don't know what God has been preparing me for. Don't say we. Say I. No, say I gotta get ready. Say I, not we. Because some of us have been preparing our minds. Like, there's a lot of people on there talking about they can't believe what they seeing, and it's all kind of catastrophe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just more than a hurricane season. It's the dragon in Egyptian and ancient calendars. This is the thing, family. This is the thing. The Bible is fulfilling itself. I'm grateful that we got a chance to study about all of this, because it's so much I don't even know where to start. in real life. I see that they had some people go down to a certain place in North Carolina, and then that place flooded. So where's all them people at? It's another one coming through. All of the chaos that I told y'all didn't want to be outside for is happening. Everything, at all of our classes is happening now. And then with a possible attack allegedly on the U.S., with all of this going on, okay? Don't let it give you anxiety. This is why we've been. So, this is the thing. We have got to, um, yeah, it's, it's disheartening to hear the stories. But do y'all think that God has been preparing us for this? They didn't. It's okay. They didn't. Again, you didn't hear what I said in the beginning, that what we read has been edited. And 100 years ago, book said something different. They have 220 something different versions of the Bible right now. They told us that giants were only 9 feet tall, and Enoch said they went up to 450 feet. And so prior to now, everybody thought that the tallest giant was 9 feet tall, which was Goliath. He was only a third part. I'm telling you what I'm reading. This is a 133-year-old book with a man who almost lost his life trying to get this information back over here, honey. And the book is $150 if you want the old one. $150 right now. So, anyway, this is the thing. I need y'all to focus. What we talked about on October 6th of 2022. I'm actually going to go back and watch that class because I haven't, but I feel like I have to now because last year for the war to start to the day when God told us, and then a year to the day from that, it has now escalated literally in the last 24 hours to where these sides have linked up and they're talking about possible attacks over here, y'all. Everything that we studied here is happening right now. The bees coming out of the ground. I didn't even know it was flooding like in the Philippines or whatever. Did y'all know that too? It's flooding in the Philippines. It's flooding in several places. You hear me? Yeah. It's flooding in the Philippines too, I guess. They got water up to their thing. It's flooding in Italy as well. And mudslides. Right. So understand that this is not just happening in America. Now, I'm going to play one more video for y'all, and y'all tell me what y'all think about this. What the heck? No way.
Hello everyone. This is a message particularly to the people in Europe, America and the Western world generally. Your leaders know, all Western leaders know that it is...
Mind you, this was posted on 7/20 of this year. You hear me? You hear me? This was posted on 7/20 of this year. Y'all ready? Y'all listening? Because it's very important.
the genocide. Because it is actually their genocide. Ask UK politician Jeremy Corbyn. He's almost the only UK party leader who refused to agree to this madness in a secret meeting long ago that Israel had organized in Britain. So it must be established that it is neither democracy, nor good governance, nor international law for Israel to demand from any foreign leaders in their own countries and without the approval of their own citizens in the EU, the UK, and the US that these leaders make a secret pledge, an undertaking that they will all automatically support any military action that Israel takes. That is the source of all this weird impunity that you see in regards to brutal Israeli actions, its war crimes, and its crimes against humanity, and the defense of those crimes that it is getting in your countries. Worse still, it is neither democracy, nor good governance, nor international law for your leaders to agree as a secret cabal to make that secret pledge that they will automatically support any military action that Israel takes, regardless of what you, their citizens, and the world think, say, or do. By such treacherous deals, it automatically means that there is no country that interferes in EU, US, and UK politics and elections more than Israel.
Y'all heard that? What secret pledge? Thank you. What secret pledge? Y'all heard the first video that says this place gotta be tapped out so that the country can come, but that's how that man, and y'all don't think this is crazy that this is all happening after he was revealed 2 years, almost 3 now? Y'all remember what had to happen for him to come and take over? It had to be chaos everywhere, and he's going to bring the false peace, right? Well, we know he's here, right? We know he's here. He been here. Look at all of, I said, look, y'all, go back and look at the old movies. When he showed up, the animals started dying. It was earthquakes. It was floods everywhere, drought, the food. Good night. The food and all of that. What's going on right now?
A nationwide shortage of IV fluids at hospitals is a major concern after Baxter International closed its largest manufacturing. A nationwide shortage of IV fluids at hospitals is a major concern after Baxter International closed its largest manufacturing facility in North Carolina because of flooding from Hurricane Helene. Baxter International is responsible for making IV fluids for most U.S. hospitals. Already, Baxter told the Massachusetts health system that it will get about 40% of the supply it usually receives. Some hospitals are giving Gatorade or plain water to patients instead of IVs in an effort to conserve supply. Baxter.
Did we talk about it? Did we talk about it? Did we talk about it? That it ain't that they might not be available. That ain't all, y'all. The hair on my body is standing up because I'm just.
Guys, I don't know what just happened. Right after I got off the live, I was hooking Chewy up to take him out to go potty. All of a sudden, I heard this loud explosion. My van shook, the ground shook, and now all I hear is fire trucks and police sirens all around me. If you're in the Inland Empire in Southern California or Riverside County, does anybody know what that was?
Source of the odor is completely unknown, but has been reported this morning so far. Well, add that to the list. Tornadoes and hurricanes and typhoons, and World War III was not bad enough. Well, add this to the list. The bottomless pit is opening up, and it smells like sulfur. And of course, it's in Portland, so that actually makes sense. I mean, I'm done, guys. I'm so done. Every single.
Y'all heard that? In Portland, there's a smell coming out of the ground, and it's sulfur. Can I ask a question? Did I ask y'all to please go watch Dante's Peak? Q. Did I ask y'all to go watch Dante's Peak? Who remembers me asking y'all to go watch Dante's Peak? Y'all remember? You remember how they knew that the eruption was coming? That was some time ago. It was. Y'all remember how they knew that the eruption was coming on Dante's Peak? All the hair on my body is standing up. They could smell the what? Wow. I didn't know that. Interesting, right? I don't know, but I just said the name. And it's Dante's Peak, and I don't know where it's playing at. You'll have to go look it up. Y'all, every single thing that we studied is freaking happening right now. Like, I can't just keep going through here and I'm like, well, that's a dream I had. That's another dream. We talked about the roads being out. They're talking about the roads being out. People cut off everything. Like, I need y'all to understand that I know I get on y'all nerves. I know I do. But this is the reason. Hey, do y'all understand? You see how many things have happened in just the last 2 weeks, and now there's already another hurricane on the way, and people are freaking out. One person said there's not a hotel 100 miles from where they at down in Florida. Okay? There's no hotels. There's no Airbnbs. There's nothing. Did y'all see on the highway? The highways trying to get out of Florida? One guy said, this was 9 hours ago.
One by the time it hits, this is everything. All the water's gone. Even the soda's getting cleared out as we speak, bro. This is all the Gatorade and stuff, dude. It's getting wild. We just checked the snack sections. Practically all the perishables or non-perishables or whatever are taken. We got like 1 bag of beef jerky. We got some Pringles, fruit snacks, diapers, chips. We're just looking for things that at this moment we can grab. Everything's getting cleared, dude. Like everything. It's gonna be wild. All the cat litter, all the fucking, like everything, dude. Like, I don't even know, man. Everything that we needed yesterday that we should have got is not here.
That's all that was left. There was no meat, no cheese, no nothing where he was at. All of the stuff that you really needed to have, like canned chicken, powdered milk, powdered eggs, there's none. I worked from 96 to 27. The breakdown of order is beyond a nightmare. Oh, I know. Yep, even on the grocery apps, they claim a lot of things are out of stock. Where you at, Miss Perez? Are you in Florida? And it's still people without power. 9 days, South Carolina. Interesting. 9 days, it's still people without power. Peace on earth, my niece haven't prepared, and she's not leaving. I'm just gonna pray. That's all you can do. Ready Wise still has some stuff. Get it while you can. There's still people down south without power too. Oh, I know. He just got his power on yesterday. So, again, y'all, even if you're not in the areas where this devastation is at, I'm in Tampa. Walmart didn't have water. We got what was left at the store at 6 a.m. Because it's getting ready to go through the middle of Florida, right? I am, and yes, things are going fast or gone. We may have to fly out of Virginia Beach. Really, Rochelle? Whoa. Right through Tampa. If you can, try to overnight some stuff or something before it get crazy. At least your survival stuff. I'm in Palm Harbor, Florida. Interesting. Y'all make sure y'all anoint y'all properties. Wow. It's on my web. You can go in my link up here. You can go in my link and look under survival or disaster preparedness. Yeah. That's why I just been reading. Because of you, I'm prepared and my soul is ready. I thank you. You're welcome, pumpkin. But this is why your TT sis been going so hard, because look at, I don't hear my body standing up. Could you imagine seeing this over and over and over in your sleep, waking up, jumping? You said put water in a bottle, whatever you got, right? And then having to see it on the news is really doing something. So that's why I just took a couple of days. I thought it was going to be a week, but when I saw that thing with the Israel and everything, I was like, okay, this is real. And not that I didn't think it was real before, but it's even more real right now, y'all. This is not the time to wait. And now you see why I'm so pissed off at everybody that was telling everybody to wait or don't go panic buy. Because what happens if they start attacking America? They talking about the mosque, large groups of people, this and that. And I have been saying, I was like, the people is already here. They already here. They just waiting. My family thinks I'm crazy. I quit my job. Because God said cut over. Okay. Listen, this is a thing. You pray everyone evacuates by the time it hits land. It'll be a category 4 or 5. Some people said they don't have nowhere to go. I was up until 6 a.m. studying English, getting ready for infinity. That part. Sleepers here, right? So with that, y'all didn't see they talking about some stuff over here since folks won't mind their business. And they're talking about an early snow in North Carolina and stuff. Y'all seen that up in the hills in Tennessee? Did y'all see that? I know. But did y'all see that they talking about it's going to be an early up in the Tennessee mountains? Yeah. They talking about it's probably going to be an early winter. And they was like, yeah, it's going to be some problems with that. So it's a lot. It is. I've been looking, and I like today, once I got done with my hair and stuff, I was like just kind of, and I saw that stuff about the people getting together, and I said, well, normally when I don't feel like being online, it's some crazy stuff, and I just been feeling like on edge, not on edge, but just irritated with everything. Yeah. 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 It's gonna be a lot of different stuff. Yeah. Right. And they said it's gonna be an early one. So thank you. It's a real thing, family, that you need to be prepping your mind for all the crazy movies you saw and asking God to help you get your life together. And what I mean by that is getting your mind, because you could tell the way them people is just staring off into the space that like what they see in their mind is still trying to compute it. Really? Oh. You said thank you from the bottom of my heart. I had to evacuate Southwest Florida, but my house stopped. That part. That part. Yeah. Yeah. So understand, family. That's good. You cannot wait. You got to think for the people that they still ain't been able to get to them. What if they ain't had no water? What if they haven't had food, electricity, whatever it is? I see people saying they just been happy to get out of the dark. We don't have to be in the dark. We don't have to wait on nobody else to give us no food. If you're in places where you can shelter in place and the water is not going to get to you, but y'all going to get the winds and stuff, and you just know, okay, it's probably going to be like power out or whatever, make sure you have your stuff, okay? And if you have to leave, I mean, survival stuff is better than nothing. You don't want to be having to wait in no line on nobody to cook. So, as much of your food and certain things I would take if you got a tent, you know, all those things matter now. Just think about if some of the people that just been without power had the tents or those out the portable wood stoves that we have, they could be cooking and keeping warm. God told us specific things to buy. Toilets, you know, portable toilets and all of those different things. Those big canisters to be able to heat water and keep hot water for a longer period of time since there's no microwaves and things like that. Yeah. Start putting the solar lights out to charge now. Yep. The radios too. Yep. You know, my stuff stay in the window. And a lot of them you can charge electronically too. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't use the solar, you can charge them while you have power. Like our flashlights and stuff. I think that one need to be charged, but I got others. I think this one needs to be charged. I don't know for sure. Oh no. And you can charge your phone on these. It's got an emergency light. These things are going to be powerful because at least during the day, if you're waiting on them, you can sit it somewhere and it could be getting power, but you can charge your phone on this, right? Or a radio. So these kind of lights, and they have the solar panel there. Definitely praying for you, Pumpkin. Right? So these are going to be huge if you live in an area where you might need them to save you or whatever, and batteries and stuff is gone. Make sure you have this in your area. Keep your phone charged, because you can just plug your phone up and have this in a window or wherever you are if there's no power. So that's another source. The rechargeable light bulbs. If you have a generator, you can recharge. Some of these have solar on them. These aren't solar, but if you have. Did y'all see they telling everybody with the lithium cars to move them away from your house? So if you have a Tesla of any version, they said you need to move your car because the salt water that's coming could cause your car to catch on fire. Now, that's crazy to me because everybody know Florida and places like that, they gonna keep the newest cars out and all this stuff, and they say when the power come back on, it's gonna burn until it burn down because lithium and water. So if you are in an electric car, not just Teslas, they said electric cars, period. If you're in an electric car, the lithium battery can explode. So they were saying you need to, the Kia and Hyundai to, baby, listen. I'm happy God made me yell at y'all. You hear me? I'm happy he made me yell at y'all every week, every day, every week, every day, every week, because I've been crying. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, God, thank you. I was like, God, I hope and pray that these people see. Yes, I'm mean as hell, like a junkyard dog, and is. But to know that so many of you are not just out here bad, it does something for my heart. I'm telling you. To know that we have so many people in Tennessee and all those areas that could possibly be hit again. And and now they're saying that all the trash and stuff is like projectile things that's gonna make it more yes. Yes. Water is already rising in different areas. I seen that. I'm like, oh my God. And this is why, family, I have not asked for no donations. I have not asked for nothing. And it is not that I don't care. I just know some of our people is either recovering or they're trying to get out. And we don't know what's coming for these other states either. Because I believe that this is more than just whatever. I believe that these are acts of raw. I believe that. I believe it in my heart. I also believe that it is the national disaster that has to happen that is going to help further bankrupt the company, so that that order that just went in 2 Mondays ago, because it's just so crazy that after that happened, all of this is happening. And the one word that I keep hearing over and over is, I've been living here for this long. I've been living here for 50 years. I've never seen anything like this. We're used to floods. We're used to this. We're used to that. The word never keeps coming out over and over and over and over again. I keep hearing never, never, never. And I kept telling y'all, God kept telling me that we were about to see stuff that we never seen before. You hear me? It's a real thing. And now people are talking about we never, we never, we never, we never. And I said, God, I literally told him this morning, I said, every single thing that you told me came true. It's all happening. And it's happening fast. It's not one thing and then something else. It is like labor pains. Literally, like labor for real. Like back to back contractions, and they last in at least 45 seconds. You hear me? Do you hear me? Certain words we can't type here, Miss Margaret. Certain words we don't type. Anything that has to do with the big people, we don't type it. So I picked a thing, and this was my page from today, and I want to read it to y'all because I've been over here going through it for real, and I want to read this to y'all so y'all can know what my page was for today. Here we go. Tell them, this is what the Almighty Lord says. Do not let things they say frighten you. Don't be afraid. Don't be terrified in their presence, even though they are rebellious people. Speak my words to them whether they listen or not, because they are rebellious. Ezekiel 2:4. It says, is being nice always the godly choice? Sometimes we're nice just to keep the peace. Your friend asks you if you think he has a problem with talking behind other people's backs. And while you know he does, you say no way, so that he won't gossip about you. Or you have a friend who is a bully to other people, but you don't say anything because you don't want to fight. When you are nice in order to protect yourself, look out, because you might just be putting yourself before God. Sometimes, like the prophet Ezekiel, um, you have to speak up, and that might mean ticking people off. It's so much easier to just be nice and avoid the conflict altogether. But when sin is involved, being nice and not saying anything that would offend is contributing to that sin, even joining in. As a God guy or girl, you need to be fearless in speaking God's word. That means speaking the truth even when people don't want to hear it. They'll be expecting you to love them, meaning let them live in denial of their own sin. But that's not loving them, it's fearing them. You aren't to fear anyone but God. This isn't a free pass to go around criticizing everyone, but a call to be honest when honesty is required. When your friends ask your opinion on something, you have an obligation to tell them the truth, even when it might hurt. But you don't have to run around getting into everyone's sin. That's like throwing pearls to pigs. They just aren't interested. But when you have an opening or an invitation, don't pass it up. Speak God's word and risk the agitation and even anger of others so that you might serve God rather than yourself. So understand that even though y'all didn't want to hear it, and even though y'all got sick, and even though some of y'all left and came back, and even though y'all don't be wanting to hear it right now, I could get in trouble. Just think if I didn't tell y'all none of this stuff that God has been telling me to tell y'all. Just think if we didn't have the classes, if I was worried about what people had to say. But there are people's lives that have potentially been saved because they didn't have to be out in the chaos. They could shelter in place. They wasn't without lights. The kids wasn't hungry. They had water. They had food. They had emergency things. So I could have been worried about what everybody was saying. I could have been worried about whatever, but I didn't care because I believe God and I believe what He said. And every single thing that He has told me to tell y'all has popped up off the page. It's nothing that hasn't. In all 11, I mean, down to the days, y'all, it's messing me up. I want to see something. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on one second. What's today? Freaking planet. You don't think that's crazy? I had a feeling something about like that change sale was about to happen, and I normally have this off. And I picked up my this, and they come. Yeah, it was 40 degrees. It's like 50. Thank you so much, Miss Diaz. My girlfriend at Kimberly's Closet got me this last year for Christmas, I believe. Y'all see this? Yes, honey. I had to turn the heat on. I woke up this morning like, oh no, this ain't gonna work. Who wasn't here yesterday? Y'all look when this was streamed. Do y'all see? That was 1 year ago. Who in the news today? Yeah, I wonder why they blocking my videos. Y'all, it go from October the 2nd to October 23rd. Oh, uh-uh. October 1st. October 1st. They restricted this video on October 2nd of 2022. Y'all remember we had a video on October 6th. Y'all know it's not in here for 2022. It literally goes from the 2nd to the 23rd. Y'all remember I just pulled it up for y'all this year. I literally just pulled it up for y'all this year and showed y'all from October 2nd in my videos. I'm literally in my analytic thing. Everything is there. The videos between October the 3rd of 2022 and October 23rd is nowhere. And we literally talked about from October the 1st through October the 11th. That's when we did the video about when we went and looked up everything with the food and everything as far as the boxes. Yeah. That's crazy. How y'all just take my videos down though? That's the video where I was talking about what's happening today, right now, and yesterday. It was between October the 1st and October the 6th. Well, it stops at the 2nd. The commodity boxes. That's the class they done took out. Or they're not showing it to me, and I'm looking through my live videos. It's not in there. They literally cut out all of our videos from what I'm seeing, and I'm in my thing where I would edit my videos at my dashboard from the 2nd or the 3rd of October 2022 to the 23rd. Tell me that's not crazy. I did not. Listen, I did not. I told you I didn't save these, and now they gone. So I can look at the one from last year, but not the one from 22. And that's the one where we was talking about all of this stuff that's happening right now. That was the main one. That's crazy. I didn't know. But when y'all was saying y'all couldn't see them, I didn't put them on a flash drive. I didn't put them nowhere. I didn't save them. It's probably only maybe 3 or 4 I think that I saved, and that was in the beginning. I didn't save none of them. So once they gone, that's it. I didn't. But I do think that that's crazy that them is gone, and y'all know we studied that because y'all should have notes on it. So yeah, and I know now why they did that because we was telling them their business down to the date before it happened. Ain't that interesting? Yeah, you remember Raziel? I think I'm saying your name right. Now y'all know why they've been blocking all my classes because I told y'all they was trying to figure out how we knew what was gonna happen. Who feels like you knew what was gonna happen before it happened? Anybody? With the floods, with the ground opening up, we talked about fissures. We talked about, I told y'all the dreams about me falling in the car, and I was standing there talking to people and the ground opened up. I talked to y'all about the walls of water. I talked to y'all about the destruction in the bodies. We talked about all of this. No power, the people's coming in and not doing what they said they're gonna do. We talked about all of it. We talked about all of it. You said you know what's gonna happen with the next storm. Yeah, it's about to get ugly. No, they just have books on them. Yeah. So with that family, I know it's hard, but even if you're not in an area where there's flooding, disaster can come to any of our houses. You said, yep, survival book bag, walkie talkies, and everything. Listen, we got so much stuff there. It's ridiculous. We got who gonna be cold? Who about to be hungry is not us. We're not doing that. God told us it wasn't gonna be no power. He told us all the stuff. All the stuff. It wasn't gonna be no gas. People was gonna be running and acting crazy. All of that stuff he told us. So we've been prepping little by little. Little by little we've been prepping. And I feel so bad for the people that are in these situations. But God literally was telling us, yeah, he literally was telling us what to get, what to find, what to do, where to go, what to look at. And so, yeah, that part. So, with that, if you do have to evacuate, please take some of your survival stuff with you, especially, like I said, if y'all got a tent, sleeping bags, a lot of your survival food, if you bought your wood burning oven, those kind of things, if you got a truck or whatever, if there's more than one vehicle going, they're going to be very instrumental right now because people is outside cooking on bricks and whatever they can find. But most of y'all have the stuff that you need if you do have to leave. You know what I'm saying? I know clothes is important. A couple outfits vacuum sealed in those big old bags, right? That can withstand the water because them vacuum sealed bags, as long as they don't get ripped on nothing and they're just floating on the water, your clothes will be dry. You hear me? Yeah, storage matters. It does. You definitely want to have a way to keep your clothes dry. So those big old Ziploc bags that I showed, the airtight storage bags where you can fit a lot of stuff in there, 4 outfits a piece, some drawers, a bra, blase skip, these right here. And you can get them at Walmart, Amazon. They got them everywhere. But if you're in a flood zone, you can put a lot of clothes in here, per person, or put, whatever, some towels, washcloths, a couple of things, just in case you can't get to it for a couple of days, or you know what I mean. These things are going to be vital. Before the storm hits, you can prep blankets or whatever, put 2 or 3 blankets in there, to where if y'all gotta, do whatever, you got some clean clothes, you got some dry clothes, you got some underwear, you got baby blankets, or whatever you might need. These come in handy. Long as they don't get ruptured on nothing, and I'll be and wrap some stuff up in some good big old trash bags or whatever. But this right here, if you live in them flood areas, go on and get you some of these, because they a whole comforter. So if you got some extra blankets, put all that stuff in here. You see what I'm saying? And this one came with 10 bags. That's a lot. So you can suck down whatever you need to suck down, right? That way, God forbid the water come in, at least y'all know everything ain't soaked. You know what I mean? Put it in, up in the attic, or I don't know, up high somewhere, to where if y'all have to evacuate, y'all already got clean clothes. You ain't got to, because I've been seeing people say they've been in the same clothes for 9 days because everything is gone. So these things are going to be very important, y'all. What? Why do they keep doing that? Probably because I'm not on the TikTok shop. That's weird that if I'm trying to show y'all something, they giving me a restriction. I'm literally talking about a vacuum sealer bag for storage. The people is over here. Y'all know that? Y'all believe me now? They over here, baby. I can't even tell y'all about how to prepare. So understand. And probably y'all, a whole bunch of y'all probably went and looked up that book. And that book gives details to a lot of what's going on right now. Yeah. But I also saw what they're doing with a lot of people. The book is gone. You can't find it. Yep. And they know what's in it. So there's that. They know exactly what's in it. Wasn't supposed to get out. Thank you, T of y'all. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, this is the thing. I already know that my time here is. They can still do stuff over there. And I ain't figured out how to see the words over there still. Yeah, I mean, eventually that's where we'll go. We'll end up, the last place is at our website, but I don't know if I can see y'all, because for whatever reason, I can't see what you guys type in our live over there, and they still haven't fixed it. So there's that. But also, did y'all see they're kicking a lot of the creators out of the creator fund? Yeah. And so who remembers me saying, I'm not going to build up nothing on this because they could take it away? So you remember I said that every single thing that we do here is built on us. It's not built on none of these people pushing us or nothing. Now you understand why. Because I didn't. Yeah, yeah. Well, this is the thing too. They really don't need icons anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying? They don't need influencers anymore because it's only about to be one. They getting rid of all. He ain't allowing none of that. You'll not be a pledging no allegiance. You're not gonna be following nobody else. It's not about to be none of that. If you're not preaching his message, like, oh, it's making it hurt my body stand up. Y'all can't. Can y'all see? Y'all probably can't see, but yeah. So that's crazy. Y'all probably can't see, but it is. So with that, looking on the news, it don't look like all of those movies that we watched with all of these announcements in front of these official backgrounds. Do it. I already have it. I need y'all to listen. I already have it. All the shows that we went and watched is one after another. One after another. I said, like, it's kind of weird a little bit, you know. And even though I was angry and I needed a break when I saw that stuff about Israel, I'm like, y'all, if you haven't listened before, please don't wait, because with America being on high alert, we talked about them coming over here, and we talked about allegedly there being attacks on our own soil. We talked about this, and we've talked about it a lot. So you can keep on acting like it's just in Israel. Folks, it's tired. I said that. We talked about it. And they didn't already let it be known that since America want to be running around doing whatever she want to do, then it's a different situation now. They talked about large gatherings. Y'all seen that? Did y'all see it? They was talking about large gatherings. And then the mosque and some of the temples and stuff like that, they said we need to be careful. So just be mindful. It's all over TikTok too. Yeah. Don't just be watching over there. Pay attention. They already done said it. Like, you can go on CNBC. You hear me? Wow. That's crazy. Good night. Have a good day. You hear me? So, definitely be. I would just say know where the shelters are in your area, no matter where you live, whether you're in a flood zone or not. Know, just have an emergency plan. Have an emergency plan for you and the kids, for like you and the hubby. Like, what do y'all do? Like, have an emergency plan in the States. You need to have an emergency. And I'm not just talking about the flood areas, I'm talking about you need to have an emergency plan. Okay? I'm about to let y'all go. I wanted to come on here. I finished sharing what I read in our August Sharon book in the morning. I'm gonna go get in the bed too. But I had took me a good nap, and so I was up. So I figured I'd come and tell y'all about what I found. All the hair on my body just keeps standing up. It's crazy. I just keep getting chills. That's weird. So, um, here we go. I will see y'all a little bit later. I love y'all. Well, I don't know about later, but you know, be paying attention to the news and stuff, y'all, please. For real. Make sure you get in your stuff later. Make sure y'all get in y'all stuff. I love y'all.